Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Guys, it's insane what has happened in the White House with Zelensky and Donald Trump. And being a Canadian, living in Canada, and also a guy who was born in Ukraine, and also a guy who was staying up until like 3 a.m. counting votes to looking that Trump becomes the president of the United States. Looking at this entire situation, a lot of people are asking me, Igor, is that what you wanted? Because we knew that he's going to be like that. And there is a lot of outrage about the entire situation in the White House. The tariffs that are coming to Canada in like 3 days now, we are all expecting that 25% tariff. The tariffs that would cause a collapse of economy in Canada similar to 1992. That's what at least article that I was reading saying. I don't know much about that collapse in 1992, guys, because guess what? I was like 3 years old at that time. And I gotta tell you, it's insane the world we are living in. Last video I published, Canada is not the same. And as you can see now, guys, the Canada is definitely not the same. I have my kid Adriel playing behind me. Hopefully, I'll get him to do YouTube one day. So I want to cover all of these things in today's short video, guys. I want to tell you, support this channel, subscribe to this channel, click a like button, guys. If you haven't already, it's free, and this helps a lot to this channel to grow and to show it to other people as well. So don't forget to do that, guys. It doesn't cost you any money, and a lot of people who are watching this channel are old subscribers, and people who are not subscribed to this channel are just basically not subscribed to this channel. So please do subscribe if you're new to this channel. Now, guys, it was an insane event. Now I'm looking at the entire White House and especially Fox News. They're scrambling to cover up the entire humiliation of what has happened. Some people call it an attack on Zelensky. Some people are saying that Trump has invited that Ukrainian president to do that on purpose. Some people are speculating, saying that Zelensky did it on purpose. But guys, can you imagine what the hell has happened? And that I haven't seen such a collapse of negotiations on a live camera ever. I just can imagine what is happening behind closed doors between politicians. This was something that was not in the closed doors. And honestly, guys, I thought that the negotiations and Trump, he's a certain kind of a magician on how things happen. Here I found a total loss of control, where Vance is, basically is an inexperienced in negotiating with Zelensky, and an inexperienced politician, and Trump is trying to correct the situation, getting interfere, and in the end they're losing total control of the situation, essentially, saying that Ukraine is starting World War III, that Ukraine territory has to be given up. Just like Zelensky mentioned it later on, you have to realize that that territory, guys, look, this is my backyard, for example. That's my home. I'm in my backyard. Those are houses of people. There are millions of people, as what from Trump is saying, who died protecting that territory. It's not just land. It's not just real estate, like let's say Trump Tower. It is actually livelihoods, memories, generations of people who lived on those territories, and hundreds of thousand people or a million people who died protecting those territories. Not only just the territory or the money. It's not all part of the deal when you play with human lives. And I guess that's what pissed off Zelensky in a way, and he got a little bit defensive. But it was interesting to see that Trump lost control. I want to say, guys, leave a comment down below if you think Trump should talk like that to Putin, and let me know what is going to happen. Try talking like the same way they did to Zelensky to Putin, and I'll tell you that war is never going to be over, because that was a total disaster in negotiation scheme. I would say my opinion about Zelensky was going down over the past, I would say, at least 6 months. It was going lower and lower and lower about the president as he is. And now, if you look at the Fox News, everyone is saying, well, look at Zelensky, and he messed with their own president. That's not Biden. I'm like, I think the situation was a little bit different. Trump was dealing with the wrong guy, not Zelensky was dealing with the wrong guy, because I think Trump lost control. They attacked him for not wearing a suit, a guy whose country is at war, not wearing a suit. If he wore a suit, they would say, oh, look at this guy. He just got himself a $20,000 suit from the money that we sent. So there is no win in this kind of situation. Regardless, if you want to attack someone, you will get that person attacked. The media was kicked out. Adriel, don't make too much noise. We're going to be screwing up the sound on my video, okay? Okay, but keep going. So essentially, what has happened with the entire thing is a total collapse of negotiations. You know, I totally get Zelensky. I'm a little bit biased towards Zelensky because I was born in Ukraine. I immigrated to Canada just over 12 years ago. You know, there was no war at that time. There was nothing going on at that time. And you know why I left Ukraine? Because Ukraine wanted to be friends with Russia. And I thought that, you know, if they, there is a saying in Russian, if the mountain doesn't come to Muhammad, Muhammad is coming to the mountain. So instead of me waiting for the mountain to come, I turn into like a Muhammad who's going towards the mountain. So yes, I left Ukraine because I made a conscientious decision for a better life, because Ukraine was not moving closer to the west; it wanted to go to the east. And I didn't know, who would have known that Ukraine is actually going to try to go to the west and the east is going to try to invade Ukraine? Who would have known at that time? So I actually attribute the decision of moving to Canada. At that time, I kept on making videos for 7 years on this channel, telling people to move to Canada, telling to move to Calgary, how beautiful this country is. And now, guys, it's even more affirmation that that was the best decision on my in my lifetime. Otherwise, I would be chasing, running away from drones right now in Ukraine with the entire situation. But anyways, not enough about me, and let's talk about what has actually happened. Zelensky later on went to the Fox News, and Trump is demanding an apology. But honestly, I'll tell you what it resembles to me. You know, one of those videos where a guy is sitting in a car and a police officer pulls him over, and then the guy starts recording the interaction, and then a police officer goes on an ego trip and loses his shit. That's what has happened, in my opinion, my vision. The parallel towards the entire interaction. I think Trump and Vance lost their shit, were on an ego trip, and screwed up the entire negotiation, in my opinion. Yes, Zelensky was defensive, but what do you expect? You bring a guy whose country got invaded to your country, to like, it's like bringing a team to a different football arena, bringing one guy, cornering him around, putting the cameras around, and then start attacking him, insulting him, and humiliating him publicly, and then you get insulted for the person trying to defend himself. It's solved. Anyways, that's what I want to say, my opinion about this entire situation. You don't get humiliated by somebody standing up for themselves. And now everyone is trying to figure out how to fix it. I still hope they do find an agreement. I still hope Trump can settle down the war in Ukraine. I still hope everything's going to turn out. I still hope that the tariffs are not going to come to Canada. And I'll tell you, before the interaction yesterday, I had a way better, I had an excellent opinion about Trump and his policies. Right now, my opinion of him has went down drastically after that interaction yesterday. I just didn't realize that. I thought he can handle the negotiations like a pro, but that wasn't a pro. That was like a disastrous negotiation, and more disaster. They did it on camera in front of the, like, guys. Just imagine this: you get one guy singled out in a classroom. Teacher brings you to the board and starts humiliating you. That's how I felt. Did the kid feel humiliated? I'm talking about Zelensky. He is no kid. He's a great politician. He is. uh, my kid is hearing that. He's a great politician. He was a director of a movie. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He's a business person. He's like a micro version of Trump back in Ukraine. If you want to know my opinion of how I knew about Zelensky, I watched a bunch of his shows, a bunch of his things, a bunch of his comedy skits. He was a great comedian. Not as great as for example, some other comedians in the West that I like more. But he was a great comedian for a smaller Ukrainian audience who chose that guy to be a president, same as people in the United States chose that guy to be a president. And when you go against Trump, you go against Americans, and you go Zelensky, you go against Ukrainians, you go against of people who have been chosen by their people to represent their countries. And that's not the way to handle it. That's what I wanted to say. That's my opinion on that. I want to know, guys, your comments on what you think about it, and leave them down below, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.